guys, it's Scott here and welcome to today's career mode trailer for FIFA 21. Hopefully it's going to be a good one. We're hoping for a lot of new information and everything like that to come out today. So, if you do enjoy it, make sure you thumb it up and subscribe, and we're going to get into the trailer in just a few seconds. If you're looking to pick yourself up some coins before the end of FIFA 20, then make sure to click my link in the description to go to U7Buy, and make sure you use my code BIRDIE at checkout to get 5% off your order. So here we go. Career mode, FIFA 21. What do you got, EA?
Manage every moment in FIFA 21 career mode with a new interactive match sim, more control over training and developing your squad, and more ways to sign players on the transfer market. Ready for a whole new way to play out your career? The brand new interactive match sim gives you full control when simming matches. Jump in and out of the action when you decide to change the course of the game, or take charge for key moments to dominate the moments that matter.
Okay.
Keep an eye on match stats and player performance levels, and make subs or tactical changes on the fly to influence
Really is
the
like
outcome of
Football
the match.
Manager, that, isn't it? Player
A
development.
new player growth system puts you in charge of your squad's development. Spotted a gap in your team? Turn marauding fullbacks into wingers and goal-scoring midfielders into false nines with new position training.
That's really
And
good.
new development plans give you control over each player's growth to help you build your squad's attributes to match your style of play.
That's something that's been needed for a while.
Manage your team's schedule and train multiple players at the same time with a new activity management system. Choose when to rest and when to train throughout the week as you balance your players' morale and fitness with match sharpness. A new stat that shows you how likely players are to perform at their peak. Then boost it with group training sessions, monitor your players' progression, and find that sweet spot with fitness and morale to keep your team firing on all cylinders.
Okay. Good.
Whether you're all about the Galacticos or the hunt for the brightest young prospects, new options give you more ways to transfer players and a more realistic transfer market in FIFA 21. Sign players on loan-to-buy deals and negotiate player swap offers with other managers to bolster your squad each transfer window.
Again, another addition that has been needed.
Overhauled opposition AI gives you a more intelligent opponent to play against in every match you play. New tackling, player switching, and marking logic makes opposition defenses harder to break down. And at the other end of the pitch, more intelligent attackers have a stronger understanding of dribbling and passing to keep you on your toes.
I don't think this is a career mode thing. This is just a FIFA 21 thing.
With new ways to train, play, and make transfers, manage every moment of your career in FIFA 21.
Now, to me, whilst there's some cool things in the trailer, I really don't see much point in this. We already knew all of this stuff. This is what we were talking about on stream before the trailer. Oh, here we go. Before the trailer came out, we were hoping that they would bring out like information about new stuff rather than stuff that we already knew when they detailed it earlier in the year. So, wait, is there not an actual pitch note? See, this is just the stuff that we knew before. Unless we go to the bottom. Is there a pitch notes at the bottom? Okay, there is. Good. Good. So, career mode deep dive. This is quite a long one. So we're going to look at the most important things and see what's going on here. Get off. We're excited to take you through a deep dive into the upcoming features for career mode in FIFA 21. We wanted to bring a bigger focus on career mode this year, deliver on some of the key features we know you've all been asking for. Yep, that's fine. So, this is the big thing, isn't it? Interactive Match Sim is a new way to experience matches in career mode. Again, more close to Football Manager. Basically, career mode is becoming closer and closer to Football Manager, so that they will try and take some of that audience and customer base and bring it to FIFA rather than people playing that for a managerial thing. So this is pushing you closer to this with like your new match simulations and everything like that. Being able to instantly jump in and out is good, obviously. and you can go in, go take a penalty, or you can go and have this big opportunity here and put it wide. Why did this clown jump in to then put the shot wide anyway? I mean, it is really, really good that at any point you can jump in. But come on, man. You can't be missing that from there. That's... whether you only like to intervene when your team goes down, or you prefer to jump in whenever your team is in shooting range, it allows players to experience matches exactly how they want to. You can see in-depth stats and stuff like that, which is nice. That's good. A new way to experience match gameplay. So, you see the players attempt to implement your game plans and have all the tools needed to reorganize them on the fly if needed. You can change team management, game plans, and monitor your teams and your opponent's information in real time. So you've got a fitness tab, so you can see players' fitness on everything. Player ratings to see how people are doing. Match stats, and then game plans, so tactics and stuff like that. So you can obviously change that mid-game if you want to. Interactive Match Sim also features audio commentary and stadium atmosphere. That's a nice touch, rather than just watching it with nothing going on in the background. It's not a massive thing, but it's nice. New match launcher. So, you can launch each match with one of 3 options. Play match, sim it, or instantly jump to the final result of the match, which is a quick sim. Included new information, so you can see probable lineups. That's good. Also streamline the experience by making some changes like automating kit selection to get into matches quicker. Again, little tiny things, but improvement, right? Allowing you to customize the appearance of the teams on the interactive match simulation radar, stuff like that. Okay, so that's a big thing, is obviously the match simming and everything like that. Player development is also a big thing that they've changed, because before there were limitations to player development and also changes to the transfers, which I'm sure we'll get into as we scroll down. So they've basically changed the player development to improve it. It's fully revamped player growth system. You can grow your squad and make the most of it when possible. They can be developed and specialized in various roles based on their playing position, depending on how you favor playing, whether it be possession, counterattacks, etc. It's determined through XP based on how well they do in matches and their potential to grow. They'll gain more or less XP. The XP is distributed to their attributes, determining their growth over time. Okay? By default, they're all placed on a balance, which means it will be evenly spread out, but you can change it. Attributes your XP will be put into, which is quite nice, I would say. Rather than it just going to, yeah, I don't want defending on my striker. I want his finishing, his physical, and that's about it, right? Stuff like that you'll be able to choose. Who knows? Maybe I'll be interested enough to do a career mode on FIFA 21. You'll have to sub to find out. Join the channel. But here we go. So you can choose major attributes that generate the overall of the player for their current position. This is how the growth plans focus on now. Skill move weak foot ratings, especially for attacking players. Attacking and defensive work rates. And attributes that fuel specialization, like they may not contribute to the current position overall. The speed at which young players develop depends on their age, abilities, potential form, and playtime. Give a young player a few games, help him perform, he'll turn into a better player at an accelerated rate, as you would hope and expect. And if you keep him on the sidelines for too long, it can have the opposite effect. So you may even benefit from sending players out on loan to get them to improve before bringing them back if you don't think they're going to play that season. And these are all the things that you can look at here in terms of how their stats, their growth will affect things depending on which one you go with. If you go with balanced, you can see it's spread out over all 6 face stats, whereas complete striker does shooting, passing, physical, right? Player position conversion is something that people have been interested and wanted. So, now, the key difference, all growth XP will get directed towards attributes that would cater to the new position when they're going to move. Conversions also impact work rates and skill moves. Converting a winger into fullback, they'll need to develop their defensive work rate. Moving a player to a more advanced position, they'll need to improve on their skill moves to be able to take on defenders when going forward. Younger players will be easier to convert to other positions, and declining veteran players can be guided towards a position that helps them convert their key attributes better. So, kind of realistic, right? New players sometimes, for example, Saka for Arsenal. He's played left back, left wing, right wing this season, or the season just gone for Arsenal. And as a developing player, you're more likely to be shifted around the pitch to see exactly where you play best. Whereas, something like this pretty much sums up Wayne Rooney at Man U. As he got older, he moved further back down the pitch. So instead of being the out-and-out striker, he moved further back towards centre forward and then towards more of an attacking mid kind of deep-lying forward kind of player. So it is more realistic, which is good. You've got new active training. Introduces the concept of a training day, which can take place on any day of your calendar with the exception of match days, understandably. Each training day will feature 3 distinct training session slots, focusing on specific drills. Multiple players, up to 15 players in each training day can be put into drills, not bad. Every session consists of diverse drills, and they can improve a specific area of the game, all of these main things. Training days will always be pre-populated with the appropriate drills, players based on your active team sheet, but you can change it if you want to. Good. Changing your active team sheet will also give you the ability to instantly update the drill and player selection for the training day. Again, good. Nice. No, you do not need to have the new consoles to get these new features. These are what we're getting in FIFA 21 on current gen consoles. We still have no idea what differences there's going to be between current and next-gen consoles for FIFA. They keep saying that they'll talk about it at a later date. I wouldn't be too surprised if it's mainly just optimization, better frame rates, better graphics and stuff like that. Maybe a couple of things added in. But I feel like they would have maybe teased something first. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's get more specific on this topic. Depending on difficulty, training drills consume different levels of fitness. That makes sense. Getting the highest grade will maximize the sharpness output. More difficult drills are obviously more challenging, will require more skill to obtain a high grade. Makes sense. So do you risk playing a difficult drill or not? Sharpness output also depends on the number of players in the drill. More players means more players get some sharpness for a successful drill, but less players means greater sharpness boost per player. So yeah, you've got to think whether it is worth the risk of putting in more players to get less out of it for each of those players, or putting in a few and getting a bigger boost. Player sharpness. So it's an all-new indicator that helps indicate how ready a player or a team is for a match. It goes from 0 to 100. 50 is average. 50 to 100 means that their attributes will be boosted, a bit like chemistry in Ultimate Team. And sharpness between 0 and 50 means their max attributes will be reduced. When their sharpness is 100 on a striker, here's an example. Positioning +4, finishing +5, ball control +3, shot power +3. So yeah, basically the effective chemistry in Ultimate Team seen in career mode with the sharpness attribute applied to them. And again, if their sharpness is 0, then you get minus of those same stats. So that's fine. Player feedback system. To the team management screen, which aims to enable better decision making. There are now 3 elements to sharpness, morale, and playing in their preferred position. Team schedule planning. You can now control what your players do every day of the season. Balancing fitness, morale, and sharpness is key, obviously. Training days, recovery days, and rest days. Okay. Nice. Nice. I feel like people are going to utilize this and figure out the best ways to really get the most out of your players by determining which sort of scenarios you should put depending on how busy the schedules are on match weeks and stuff like that. Maybe if you've got midweek games, it completely changes the activities that you would set up. Interesting. Okay, if you're not much of a micromanager, the robust scheduling rules can be adjusted whenever you want during a season, allowing you to make high-level changes without having to get involved with planning activities each day. Monthly calendar will keep its existing functionalities, but will now also surface the activities set in the weekly schedule, and you can do schedule rules. Now, new transfer options and improvements. You can do loan to buy. Finally. AI player swap proposals. So the AI will now do that, instead of you being the only person to be able to do that. Interesting. Contract renewal improvements. AI control clubs the ability to perform contract renewals based on the player's rank in the club. So you will usually not see the top players in a club become free agents. It can still happen. In some cases, top players might not always want to accept contract renewals. Okay. Good. Additional improvements. Onboarding. As we're constantly adding features to the game, it's becoming more important to provide information to our players about the inner workings of career mode. Okay. So it's basically helping you. Expanded competition user interface. So specific to the competition you're playing in. So they've added more in. Okay? There you go. Right? Press conference morale impact. Post-match interviews. Only the players that played in the match will be impacted by your answers that address the whole team. Maintaining high morale for your whole squad is too easy, so we've added a layer of depth to how players' morale levels are impacted by performance to make it harder. Interesting. I like that. I like games being made harder rather than easier. Establish Youth Academy. You'll no longer have to start setting up a Youth Academy. The club will already have a Youth Scout hired. Number of players already recruited into the Youth Academy. And depends on the Youth Development rating. Homegrown talent. If you pre-order Champions or Ultimate Edition, you'll get a homegrown talent player as part of your Youth Academy. One player with higher potential will be awaiting you in the Youth Academy. Okay, nice. Financial takeover setup. You can set the amount of cash you want your club to receive as part of financial takeover. Whether you want 500 mil or start with next to nothing, you can customize your experience. Nice. Negotiation strictness. Instead of picking one of the two approaches, we figured that the best way to go is to allow you to choose how you want to set up your career. Strict negotiations means that clubs won't be interested in taking offers from a rival club. Players won't be interested in moving to a low-ranked league or club. I like this. Again, giving you options to make it harder. I think that was one of the things that I didn't really like about career mode, is that it basically seemed the same every single time. This could make things a bit more interesting. Okay. If you have negotiations set to loose, it's going to be a lot easier. Player retirements. It triggers only if the player is in the final year of their current contract. Star veteran players to push retirement further. Closer to 40. Fixed an issue with player personality and emotion for youth and regen players that had improper stuff. Okay. Board objectives have been changed to make requirements more clear, especially around brand exposure objectives. Placed objectives around match attendance and stuff like that. Nice. Loan and transfer negotiations. There were issues. Here are some elements which can factor into negotiations. Jesus. A load of stuff about the player and their current contract and everything like that. Right? There are very mixed feelings in the stream that we're recording this video in. For those of you that watch this as a video afterwards, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because the stream is Marmite. A lot of people are saying that it's pretty good, and then other people are saying that it's not good enough, and they're still going to play Football Manager instead. Broadcast improvements. Some of these improvements include full refresh of that, iconic atmospheres, following the steps of that. More clubs will have their anthems. Authentic goal music, new localized stadium announcers, new broadcast stories. Okay. Okay. Thank you for all your constant feedback. We're excited about Career Mode in FIFA 21. Look forward to seeing your feedback. Now, to me, I haven't been a Career Mode guy for a few years. And a couple of reasons was, one, I hate the game. I've hated the last two FIFAs. It's not been enjoyable. And I feel like playing against the AI is even less enjoyable than online, because it's the same every single game. If a McGeady spin works once in a specific scenario, it's going to work 1,000,000 times. And that's my problem. So, unless the AI has changed to be a bit more random, I still feel like I probably wouldn't be too interested, although I do like some of the changes that they've made. And this is coming from someone that doesn't play the mode, but has sort of observed it the last few years. I feel like some of these introductions are nice. I feel like they should have happened a long time ago, but better late than never, right? Is probably the best way for me to sum it up. A lot of people are expecting to get a stadium editor similar to Ultimate Team. Doesn't look like that's a thing. Same with kits and creating your own club and putting them in and stuff like that. They haven't mentioned stuff like that. So it doesn't look like that kind of custom stuff is being added this year. And it doesn't appear as if this is an early set of information and then they're going to release a load more. It feels like this is basically everything for career mode. So yeah, man, I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on this, because very interesting to me. And maybe I'll give it a go in FIFA 21. We'll see.